is Tariq Ramadan. Now, there have been 3 or 4 brave, courageous souls, ladies that have come out about sexual abuse, about manipulation, about exploitation of their relationship, of physical abuse. But now there are stories coming out that the victims of Oxford professor Tariq Ramadan are in the tens, if not the hundreds, stretching back over more than 2 decades, according to a new expose. Mejda Bernousi, a woman of Moroccan origin, kept a daily journal throughout her tumultuous relationship with a prominent Islamic scholar. French magazine Le Point pointed this out this week. Not covered too much in media. And I need not remind you of who Tariq Ramadan is. A guy who the Obama State Department, Hillary State Department, removed the travel ban because he had not been allowed to come in the United States because he had sympathized and raised money for Hamas. He denied that claim and was allowed to come back and visit the United States. And as much as he claims to be a reformer and has written books that are what I would call quasi-neo-Salafi reform, he's the grandson of the founder of the Muslim Brotherhood, Hassan al-Banna. He is the slick-tongued European Muslim scholar who refuses to deconstruct the ideology of the Muslim Brotherhood. So it's not just he denies being an Islamist, he has never built a construct of ideas that takes apart the ideas of the Islamic State. But at the key of these allegations is not just also just another criticism of one person. This is a reminder that the Islamists think they're above humanity. The Islamists think they are God and people are their servants, their slaves, and are not abused when they abuse them because they are, God forbid, given that right to do that. So this is why they believe in a caliphate. What does caliph mean? Caliph means the vicegerent of God on earth, the representative of God on earth. So they think they are God. They think they can do these things. This is so classic of Islamists. This is why the militants behead, and this is why the so-called nonviolent moderates will exploit Western society and lie to them up front. Some call it taqiyya. I call it simply deception and pandering in order to get something by the ends justifying the means through false denials and manipulation in an Orwellian sense. Mejda Bernousi, a woman of Moroccan origin, kept a daily journal throughout her tumultuous relationship with a prominent Islamic scholar. She was not raped or beaten, but she pushed back. She had documentation of back and forth email, claims to have been threatened by his fans when she tried to denounce him for his predatory behaviors towards women. She's planning to publish her journal entitled A Voyage into Troubled Waters with Tariq Ramadan. 3 women so far prior to her had accused him of rape, providing graphic details in interviews and on social media. He's denied them. He's even claimed libel and slander against those who have reported it. But Bernousi's story is very, very detailed. She talks about how she came back from Mecca and reached out to him, and slowly the relationship changed. From his fake neutrality gave way to tender words, then love. And it goes on about how he exploited her. She said she felt the evil in him, the fake, the deceived, make-up man of Islam. And a relationship developed nonetheless. He even asked her to be his wife. He told me he was divorced. He never answered the most basic questions about his family and his private life. And she sent him text messages saying, would people continue to come and listen to your sermons if they knew what you were doing to their daughters? And it goes on. So, the teaching point here is that Islamists think they're above humanity. Islamists think they are God. We'll see. Let the court system adjudicate Ramadan was actually detained recently in travel in Europe, and I think the French in Paris detained him as they figure out what's going on. And I hope more of the Islamists are come to account. But what I really hope is that the Muslim population in the West begin to realize that they need anti-Islamist leaders, that they need a movement, a revolution in the lands where we have the freedom to do it, so that we can begin to plant the seeds of ideas of reform here in America, in Canada, in Europe, so that it can be spread across the airwaves in Islamic majority countries. God bless the Majda Bernousis of the world and others who, with the courage to speak out, but we need more voices. We need not only those who are victims, but we need leaders who care about a legacy of ideas to displace what these Islamists are doing to destroy the faith of Islam, and instead leave a legacy like the reformers of Christianity left the legacy of America, left the legacy of liberal democracy under God. So too I think that we Muslims can leave a legacy learning that the American system, I believe, is the best system on the planet. It's why I became a naval officer and why I would die for this country. I would never want to die for jihad.